Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming for today's session. Thank you so much. So today, our topic of discussion is an interesting one, even when it will later become so practical. I wanted us to address the key issues that were highlighted in the Farmers Manifesto. The farmers released a 2021 and 2025 manifesto, and partly some of the issues that were highlighted and the challenges that the farmers are facing have actually been addressed by digitalization. So if you missed the Farmers Manifesto, it's available for 2021-2025 that clearly states out the issues that the farmers, challenges the farmers have. And this system came in to address almost all of them. Today, it's one of those meetings where I will speak more than do, but I promise that by the close of the sessions we shall already appreciated the digital tool we have for you and how it can actually help you to improve your farming, but also help you to access all the services you need. As I've said, today our key discussion is the Farmers Manifesto, the priority issues, and how does ICT4Farmers, mainly the system and also the mobile app, come in to address some of those priority issues. We are going to look at the agriculture value chain in today's discussion. We shall also look at the overview of the farmers' priority issues. Then we shall look at and appreciate the role of ICT in agriculture value chain. Then we shall discuss how UNFE ICT4Farmers addresses the farmers' priority issues in the 2021-2026 manifesto. And finally, we shall see the project overview, and I will receive some comments from you, and we shall call it a session. So we understand that agriculture value chain has got 3 stages. And the first stage is the stage which we are entering now, which is the pre-production stage, where farmers are preparing to plant, and the season is starting, the rains are over everywhere. And then we have got the second stage where probably your yield has grown, your crops have grown, and there are some activities that happen there. Some people do the weeding, others do the spraying, etc. But you have also got the final stage, which is called the post-production or the post-harvest, where farmers actually have to harvest what was planted. So in short, the agriculture value chain has got 3 main stages: the pre-production, production, and post-production, or the post-harvest stage. We appreciate the fact that the agriculture sector, which is made of crops, animal, forestry, and fishery, contributes at least more than, because those figures are not up to date, more than 24% of the GDP of this country, provides about 60% of employment opportunities, and majority of which, 60% of that, are women and youth. It provides over 70% of export earning, and 95% of the farmers are smallholder farmers. So by the fact that you're in this meeting, this is the key interest. So this is it has about 3 million smallholder farmers in the country. So on the total number of farmers we have in Uganda, about 3 million of them are smallholder farmers. So we have an ICT4Farmer web system. And when you log into the web system, that is exactly how it looks like. We shall with time see how we log in, how we see that information. But to some of the services the web system offers, there is the market access service. Just as Nelson highlighted, that market has been the key problem for agriculture produce and for farmers. So we have got a service for you, which is the market access service. We have got the agriculture enterprise selection. We understand that agriculture sometimes becomes a risk because people have not yet done enough research to understand why, when, and how to be involved in it. But we have a tool for you in the in the agriculture enterprise selection, where you answer a few parameters and the system recommends the best suit sector for you to be engaged in. For example, if I'm someone who can only make time for my farm once in a month, then there are certain things I cannot do. But if I'm someone that is available to do farming 24/7, then there are certain things I can do. If I do not have money to buy even a cow, then I don't expect me to go for dairy farming because I can't afford to even buy something like that. So enterprise selection puts in account your location, your the time you have, the money you're willing to invest, and everything, your passion and all that, and it captures that data, analyzes it, and recommends the best options that you can engage in. And it also have a service called Farmer Profile. So we understand that for us to be able to improve services for the farmers, then we need these farmers profiled, and the profiles kept in the system will help us to track how many farmers are available, what are they producing, where are they located, and what do they need. Then for every farmer profile, definitely is going to have services to do with farm management. In farm management, we have got things like record keeping, financial records, production records, and other farm records that you need to do. The system is designed in a way that for your financial records, it will always calculate for you the profit and loss. So you're able to compute and track the profit you're making, and you're able to track the losses, and you're able to track where you're doing right and where you're doing wrong. We have service providers, and I know part of this session, you have service providers in the meeting. So you're also able to profile them and also compile and display and provide the different services they offer to the farmers in the system, but also have access to the farmers to be able to give them services. We have queries and reports. In queries and reports, every farmer has challenges. And our assumption is that whenever you get a challenge, you need someone to tell you the solution. So that's why we have a module called queries, where farmers can actually submit the issues they're finding on their farm, and they will receive immediate, or they will receive extension service providers, reach them and address their issues. Reports will also help us to track the different extension services that reach the farmers. We have got markets and prices. So one of the things that a farmer needs to be able to make a break even or be able to sell things is to understand the market and price trend. So have a model that will help you to track the different products and how much they're selling in different markets, so that you're able to know where and when to sell. So have seller profiles and seller products. The system allows even merchants. You may not be a farmer, but you may be someone that buys from farmers and sell. So we recognize you as a seller, and we profile them, and also have a model where they are allowed to sell their products, even when they're not farmers per se in life. So we have orders where you can see the different orders that have been made, and you'll be able to actually supply. So those are some of the modules, the good modules that we compile for you, and you realize that at each stage, we are addressing at least a challenge that a farmer faces. We do not only have a web, we have a mobile app. So our mobile app is available, and it's for Android users, and it will be able to supply everything that I have stated in the previous and explained in the previous slide to do with applications, farm management services, advisory services, resource sharing, and also open market plus enterprise selection. So in the 2021-2026, farmers stated different issues they're finding while they're doing their work. And one of the key issues that was highlighted was limited access to water for production. Farmers say that the issues they're finding wherever they are is that water is not available, or even when it's available, it's limited, and access to it is actually not for everyone. Then access to quality agriculture inputs. There is a challenge that now in Uganda we have free to sell rights, that anyone can bring his products and sell them. And some of the farmers are saying we are actually having poor quality, or we are having fake products being sold out, and having access to quality agriculture products will inputs will improve our farming. Farmers also stated that market access and cooperatives is still a challenge, as the representative from the Federation has stated that one of the key challenges farmers are finding is access to markets, because some of them actually invest money, and by the time they harvest, they do not have anywhere to sell their products, hence making losses. They also stated that mechanization and agro-processing is still a challenge. There are very few industries available. Even the ones available, some farmers do not know where they are located. So they find issues in that, and they find that they cannot actually do to efficient what they're supposed to do, because they do not either know where the mechanization is, or they do not have those services. The farmers also stated that the agriculture extension service and research is still a problem, as some of these extension service providers are sent out by the legislator, who is the ministry, or they're sent out by the federation and do not actually reach the people they're supposed to be reaching, or even when they reach, they do not deliver as expected. So those are some of the challenges that farmers have highlighted in the manifesto, not leaving and not forgetting that access to financing is still a challenge, where farmers access money in different areas, but sometimes that money is not invested there. For example, when the government is distributing money, it may put it in the banks, yet farmers actually use circles and other groups, other areas to get the money. So if there is a way this money reaches them without even them having to go through the processes, the hard processes, it would be a solution. So there is still a problem with access to finances. On that note, that's our highlight of the key things I've discussed. And now we dive straight into the issues I've highlighted, and how does ICT4Farmers seek to address these issues. One thing I have to say as part of this meeting is these issues are not going to be addressed by me or addressed by you. It's going to be addressed by us. That means it's going to be a united front. If I enter the system and I'm a farmer and there is no service provider, that does not mean the system has failed. It means we have failed to unite, because some of the services and some of the things I'm going to discuss today are going to show you that you have a part to play, I have a part to play, and anyone else in the ecosystem has a part to play. So as earlier discussed, that farmers have got a challenge in water for production. ICT4Farmers has got a module called service module. In the service module, we give farmers access to the different service providers. Part of the service providers we have are irrigation service providers. So if you logged into our system and there are irrigation service providers around your area, then you no longer have a problem with water for production, because these people are able to reach you, you're able to contact them, and they're able to provide you with water wherever you are. Another solution was also under resource sharing, that is a module on the system. We understand that limited water for production could be as a problem with the resources you have, and part of the resources could be resources to actually store enough water for production. So that could be your neighbor who has a free tank and is not using it. That could be a neighbor who has got a free pump that can actually pump water and is not using it. There could be another farmer who's got people available that can actually go and fetch water from somewhere to come and help you water your garden. But these people do not even know you need them. You also do not know that they exist. Under resource sharing, you're able to declare and say, I have an available resource like a watering pump, and it's available at this small cost. And people will be able to access it and use it accordingly. We have got a community micro weather service. Right now, we are entering a rainy season. You do not know what is happening where you are. So we have got a service where people are able to, the system is able to predict the weather forecast, but also allow people to submit the weather that is around the place they're in. So with these 2 or 3 modules, the issue with water for production, if well utilized, will be no more, and people will be able to do their farming as expected without any challenge and without any issue concerning water production. Another problem farmers highlighted was access to quality agriculture inputs. How do we seek to address that? We have got a module still, the same module I talked about, which is the service module, can give you access to agriculture services. These services are approved. So if you register as a service provider, we do not just give you access immediately and you start selling your services. No, we have a team of agents that come and actually validate and know that these agriculture service inputs that you're selling are not fake. And by the time you appear on the system as a provider of services, you have got quality and acceptable agriculture inputs. So using our service module, you'll be able to get different services and you'll be able to contact the trustable and approved service providers. There is also market access service. Some of these agro inputs are actually available in the market. You have got a market module where you do not only buy products and produce for farm, but you can also buy inputs. Things like fertilizers are sold. Things like things are sold on the market access module. And these are trusted things because the people that are selling are being validated and approved to do so. So they're trustable and you can still track and not say that I bought it from someone who was walking around the street. No, you can trace your transaction and say, I bought these fertilizers from this organization. And you'll be able to get better services from trustable sources. We have got extension service delivery and monitoring. As I said earlier on, that some of these services, we already have extension service providers available. And when the regulators release them, they actually may not reach you, or when they reach you, they do not give to the extent expected. With this service, you'll be able to report when an extension service provider is released in an area. You log in and report and say, so-and-so has come to my farm on this date and done this and this, and even attach a photo of evidence and send it in the system. So it will be a monitoring and quality assurance tool for extension service delivery. We have got a market. Farmers also highlighted that they have market access and cooperative issues. And we want to tell you that we have a market module, and this market module has got almost all the market is around you. So this time you do not need to walk to Bugolobi local market, but you have access to it virtually, and you're able to buy from wherever you are and buy or sell from wherever you are. So when I click on that market as a farmer, I'll be able to see the demand and the supply of the product that I'm selling, and by the prices also. So I can be able to say, no, I'm not going to go to Ntinda, I'll go to actually Wandegear, because I already have the demand and supply in different markets and what they're selling. And I know that in this place, I will not sell, in this market, I'll be able to sell and make the right decision when I'm selling. We have got an alert and opportunity alert and opportunity module in the system. We understand that we are in an ecosystem where alerts happen, opportunities happen, and inquiries happen. So we have got a module that notifies farmers using SMS. This particular one does not even require you to have a smartphone. If you're a registered farmer and there is an opportunity and probably there is a coffee supply needed in tons or metric tons, all coffee suppliers will receive an SMS. And they are able to actually express their interest and make sure that they supply. Or if you have any inquiries, you have a toll-free call center number, which is also part of the system. And you can call and tell them, I have plenty of my Irish available. Can you please have, or do you have people that need them? And these call center agents will be able to actually scout out the demand and let you know so that you're able to supply. Another issue the farmers highlighted was mechanization and agro-processing. Some of these screenshots you're seeing, images you're seeing, are picked directly from the system. That's why I want that next time when you're going through the system, you'll be able to remember and know that here I have seen this kind of image, and this is why I get this particular service. So mechanization and agro-processing is still a service in service module. So we understand that our mechanization and agro-processing services are very available. If they register and they are in the system, let me tell you, every farmer will be able to access them around and be able to have access to these services. So some of the challenges when the farmers were stating in their manifesto, we realized that there are actually challenges because of lack of information or lack of a centered portal where a farmer can get these services. Because when people talk about mechanization and agro-processing, I think as a country, we are not doing so bad, but the challenge is we do not know where these services are. If a farmer could know that after I have produced and dried my coffee, there is a coffee factory in this area where I can take them for processing, then it would not be a challenge. But some farmers do not know that actually there's even a coffee factory in that area or in an area close to them. So ICT4Farmers will bring you this service and they'll be able to show you the different services near you, and you'll be able to access them and also utilize them as you will. Extension, agriculture extension services and research was one of the challenges. And we have got, as I said, extension service delivery monitoring. So extension service is no longer an issue. If you're not getting services, you can report. And see in our district or in our region, this and this and this, we have not received an extension service provider for the last 3 months. And this information will be put out for everyone to see, for even the regulator to know that actually there's something you're not doing in certain areas. So, but we have also got an enterprise selection module for the researchers. So you want to know what's the best agriculture enterprise to engage in without money. I don't know if it's possible, but if you use our enterprise selection module, you'll be able to recommend to you what you can do with the little money you have, or what you can do with the little time available, because most of the people doing agriculture that may not be doing it full time. Someone may say, I can only be at my farm over the weekend, but Monday to Friday I'm in office. So what do we recommend for you in such a situation? This module will automatically pick the information required and recommend the best enterprise someone should be able to, or someone can actually do research to. Access to financing, still our service provider module is not limited to only industrialization, mechanization, and agro-processing services, but it also have financial services inside. So a bank can register, a SACCO can register, and anyone that provides financial services can actually register, and they'll be able to give farmers these services in the system. We have a web portal. Some of the key components of ICT4Farmers. One is a web portal, and that's how the front end looks like. So the web portal, that's how the front end looks like. We have an integrated online market service, which also looks like that with products and more and prices. We have got a mobile application, and we have got a toll-free call center. The call center services supports 5 languages, so you do not need to know English to call the call center. We have got Runyatitara, we have got Luganda, we have got English, we have got Luo, and we have got Swahili. So any language of your choice, you can call the call center and you'll be able to speak to the different experts about any inquiries or anything you want. The web system can be accessed using that URL, app.unfeictforfarmers.org. Let me post it in the chat for us so that we are able to. Okay, so they're going to post that in the chat. We have got a mobile app, and the mobile app is available on Google Play Store. All you need to do, step number 1, is go to the Google Play Store icon. It looks like that on your phone. So look for an icon that looks like that on your phone. It's like a triangle, but having green and red and yellow. Click on it. When you click on it, inside the search, type in Unfe ICT4Farmers inside the search, and you'll get a list of course, applications. Select the one that looks exactly like that. So we have got one that has Unfe ICT4Farmers, then click install. After you have installed, the icon on your desktop will look exactly like this. Click on it, open, and then you can create your new account. So I'm going to take us straight to how we download, install, and create an account. And then after, I'll show you how to log in, and I'll receive questions. And in our next meeting, I will show you practically how does ICT4Farmers address these issues as we have stated them. Practically, I'm going to be showing this with you in our next session. So I have gone through why you need this system and why you need ICT4Farmers, but we are going to look at the practical part of it in our next session. In this session, I'm going to show you how to download the app, practically, how to install it, how to create your account and log in. I hope by that, we shall have covered our full hour and we shall close our meeting. So I'm going to share my screen for the mobile phone, and I'm so sure you can see my screen. So the Google Play Store is this here. So when you click on it, it will bring you different apps. So inside the search here, you search for Unfe ICT4Farmers. So you click search, and it will bring this. So you're able to see the first icon here and click on it. So if you do not have it, you'll have install as the option. If you have it, you'll have open as the option. So for me, I would click open, but if you're the one, you click install. And when it successfully installs, you'll be able to have your app installed, which looks like that. So to create your account, you come on create account. So I'm going to create an account. Surname, the name, mail, email. Okay, username. So I'll make my email still my username. So my username and email are the same. Then I put my phone number. Okay. Then alternative is optional. I put a password, so I'll put a simple password that I can remember. Home, region, Western, district. I select my district. Then I select my county. Of course, I select then I can choose a photo that I want to use. So I can choose or I can take. So I'm going to choose any photo. Okay, let me just take this as my profile and create my account. So after creating my account, an email will be sent to me for activating it. So you come to your mails. So you should be able to receive an email like this, Unfe account activation. So you click on that link to activate your account. Okay, then you can now come back to your app, which exactly looks, which is this here. Click on it, come and log in. So let me try to log in. So this is the app. You can register as a farmer, as a service provider, as a seller. You can access the different services. So I've got the market, we have got the farms, you have got the service providers or the services, you have got the resources. You can do farm records if you're a registered farmer. You can register your services. We have advisory services. We have resource sharing. We have open market and enterprise selection. And you'll be able to have the different things. So next time we meet, we shall be able to discuss how can someone actually use this mobile app to meet all or to access all the services they need as a farmer. That will be our next discussion. Today's discussion was to see how this system addresses the farmer issues. The next meeting will be the practical part of it, where we shall proceed from what we have done, creating our accounts and logging in, and then registering and accessing services. For example, if I went to resources and I click to view resources, I will see the resources near me. And if I selected the resource, I see the different resources now like this. I'm seeing a water can, a water tank here, and I can view the owner, and I'm able to contact the resource owner and book. So all that will be discussed during our next session.